Lady JC family, we are back. So now she's going to be the one asking me questions relating to my experiences I have gathered in the past 12 months. Just sit down, get a popcorn, get a bottle of wine, and then watch these beautiful ladies.
So my first question for Miss Jacinta is, how was your first 3 months in Australia?
There you go.
That like finding accommodation, maybe making friends. That is before we won't get to the job part. Like
The first 3 months. The first 3 months was a period where I was trying to know the country I came into. I was trying to settle down, adapt to the system. Like I lived 7 years of my life in Saudi Arabia. I'm going to tell you, despite Saudi Arabia is a foreign country as well, the system here is very different. In Saudi Arabia, women are literally not allowed to do certain kind of things, work in certain areas, but coming to Australia gave me an ample opportunity. When I came without my family, I paid for ABN. That was where I stayed for a couple of days. Guys, I was paying like $45 or $50 per day, and that was much. So what I asked myself, how long will I be paying this? Because I was looking for houses. I didn't have anyone. The person I knew happens to be living in a different region in Australia. So it's not going to make any sense me going to stay there with them, because it's about 4 or 5 hours journey by road. ABN was just my best option. So when I came there, I started checking online to get for job. That was how I was able to save that amount of money. Then luckily, a friend advised me to visit Winners Chapel. Like Living Faith is everywhere. So that was one thing I'm happy I did. I'm a very vocal person, and at least one thing I know is I have a very good communication skill. I started telling every human being in that church, I'm looking for accommodation. I need accommodation, and it is very urgent, like now. And luckily for me, I met a lady who said, oh, she has accommodation she's willing to give out. And that was how I packed out from the Airbnb, came to the residential house where I was living. So accommodation sorted. So the next thing was me navigating the public transportation system. Guys, for the 7 years in Saudi Arabia, my husband was the Uber driver, my husband was everything. So what I do is that baby, and they go out, and then I just sit in the car owner's position with my kids, and my husband will just carry us. They go, carry me, they go, carry me, they go. So that was basically my life. Using the map was a problem, because I have never used the map. That's not my headache. Maybe I'm going to the mall. It's going to take us there. He was the one that was used to all those applications, because then women are not allowed to drive in Saudi Arabia. When I came here, they said I'm going to download PTV. I said from the PTV, this will not start again. Then I will take tram. I was like, I'll get to the tram junction. I don't know if I'm putting the tram that is going left or the one that is coming like. There were times I would take the wrong turn, like the one that is going to the opposite direction. I must have gotten very far away before I start asking, like, where am I? Like, I don't understand that. So what I do is that if I'm going anywhere, I leave 1 hour. The 1 hour is the mistake I'm going to make on the road. So that if I take a wrong turn, I'll be able to catch another bus to get there on time, especially if I'm going for classes or if I have any job interview I was going for. So this was the way I kept learning till now I'm a prayer. Then the next thing I struggled so much was I love church. Yes, I'm a church girl. Normally in Nigeria, morning mass start from 6 a.m. 6:30 a.m. and then you can get some churches that do evening masses from 5 p.m. downward. But when I came here, 6 a.m. everybody are still snoring on their bed in Australia. I was like, what is this? These people don't like church, they don't like God. So I struggle with the timing. The churches just start from 8 a.m. That is the one that is quick. Others is 9:30 a.m. and 10 a.m. So by 9 a.m. I'm supposed to be at work. So balancing going to work and going to see Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament was like they were trying to take it away from me.
Sunday rates.
So the timing going to church was very difficult for me. See, trust me, if I've not been to churches in Australia, I've gone to 20 Catholic churches in 1 year. Because anywhere I am, I'll just type Catholic church closest to me, and I'm going down. If I get there and it is locked, I'll just stay in front of the door, say my prayers. I continue my journey from there. So that has been me, and that is still me. If you ask me the churches we have here, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you because I checked the timing so that it would suit my program for the day. So that was one thing I struggled with. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the money stuff. When I go to get shortbread from the mall, and I will say it's $4, I'll convert it to Naira. So one shortbread, I'm buying it for 6 hours. No, now shortbread I used to sell 1,500 at home. Yeah, so I lived in Saudi Arabia, but that mentality was still there. I was just being still cautious. I was like, no. I'll be looking for shortbread for $1, so 50 cents. Last, I won't see. I just say Jacinta out. Like I used my hands to advise myself. Girl, just respect yourself. Respect yourself. You're making the money in dollars. You have to spend it in dollars. For the first 3 months, I also struggled with getting a stable job because I was getting just 2 hours job. My first job was in aged care sector. I go to the client house. I bait the client. First one I did was going to give personal care to a man. I remember calling Anita. I was like, Anita, am I going to shower this man? I don't want to see anything. What is this? I was like I dwell on it. I like, how am I going to carry myself? It was, but when I went there, I have to show them a professional. I did the job, and that was how I became very relaxed in actually giving personal care to the opposite gender. Then my job started by 6:15 a.m. so I have to use the public tram basically, or a bus, and go to the client's house. When I get there, I do all I have to do, and my job description includes making breakfast, washing her clothes, cleaning the toilet, the bathroom. So when you ask me for money, be respectful. No, just know how to say thank you, because guys, there are times I will come, the client have put on the bed, and you just have to do the needful. For the first 5 to 6 months, yes, I was in aged care. If you watched our previous video, Anita mentioned getting NDIS, which is the in disability. If you must do work there, you must get that certificate. You must get that clearance. Mine also stayed about 3-4 months before I was able to get it, and I started looking for a job in the disability sector. So guys, that was me settling down. And another thing I didn't mention was my family. My girls are young. I have never been a fan of living away from your spouse and your children. Like the first 3 months tested my faith, tested my patience, tested everything, like literally everything I have always held strong in life. So I'm going to say that in the process, I also built resilience, stamina, strength. I ran to God like a mad woman because I didn't want to get depressed. I was just one way getting into depression. So that was how I was literally sleeping in the Blessed Sacraments. God, you can't be here and I'm going to be depressed.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, to give you in case you are coming, you plan on coming abroad and you experience all this, you just know it happens. You get. The next question I want to ask Jacinta is very important. Every time I know Jacinta, she's doing assessments. Jacinta is doing assessments every time. So how are you able to actually balance school and work? And of course, the other life, the other things you do in life, like school, work, like how do you do it?
One thing I know of myself is I'm a go-getter. Of course, it's a strength. So money is important to me. I'm the first child of my parents, and I have first responsibilities. And I also have 2 daughters that are always, mommy, I want ice cream, I want pizza, I want this. So I have to live up to the tax. So regarding how I cook, man, guys, it's not easy. When I came here, I don't die for assignments. God in heaven saved me. The first assignment that was given to me, I was blank. What are these people asking me to do? They will say, write 2,000 words. That was when I knew that 2,000 words, long, guys. You know, in Nigeria, they will just give you handout, textbook, you read. They'll give you assignment based on the textbooks, and then you go and write. But in this case, it was go and research. Get it, I don't know. They said go to PubMed, go to Science Direct, go to the library. I was like, hey, God, oh. My heart was aching because I don't want to be an average student. Like, I always want to be top in my class. Like, I'm mentioning the best students, at least, even if it's the 10th person, but mention my name. That has always been my perception towards academic goals. So I know I needed to sit up. I started reading, I would write. Then another thing was referencing. I never referenced anything apart from my project work. I don't even know how I did that, but somehow I referenced my project work. And after 9 years of graduating from the university, I'm finding myself in an academic environment. It was really demanding. Normally, I am an early sleeper. it is 7 8 p.m. on your own. The center is on her bed snoring. The moment it's 12 1 a.m. I'm awake. These are the best time where this brain God gave me is working well. So I use it to read, do the much I know I could do. The moment it's 5, I do my morning devotions, and then go out, do whatever other activities I have during the day. So that was how I basically passed. Last semester, at least I got to the stations and the credits. So thank you.
Good one. Tell them about how expensive Australia is and how you've been able to budget.
Guys, nobody told me schooling in Australia is expensive. I knew it is expensive.
School fees is expensive.
I didn't know it was expensive. Oh. Nobody told me I'm going to be paying school fees every 4 months. Like I paid February, I paid July, I'm going to be paying November. In fact, they have sent me invoice. Like 11th November, you must pay. Else they'll go and report it to immigration. And you know what that means? If you're not financially prepared, Biko, don't come and give yourself BP. BP is real. Depression is real. Especially in a country like this where everybody's on their own. Nobody really cares about you. Your mental health, your responsibility. Your feeding, your responsibility. Your social health, your responsibility. Nobody cares. Take it from me, like for free. Nobody cares about you.
I care. Don't like this.
You don't pay my school fees before?
I have.
So when I came here and saw that I'm going to be paying every 4 months, I told my husband, it's not what we bargained though. No, we didn't say this. I thought we were going to be paying twice a year, like every 6 months. Twice a year, like every 6 months. $16,000. Guys, calculate that money in Naira and give me a feedback. July, I paid 16,000 Naira. Go and calculate it and give me a feedback, and by November, I'm going to be paying $12,000. I mean, do the calculations, and then you understand why working here is very important. You will not pray with your 24 hours, like your 24 hours. Even if it's a shit they're giving you, you eat the shit in peace, and then do the work to be able to earn it. Fortnightly, I make like $2,000.
Yeah.
That's in a month, I make like $4,000. So before you convert it to Naira and say this guy is making like 5 million, let me just tell you how it goes. My house rent is about $800 monthly, including bills, or including
bills.
Excluding bills?
Yes.
Okay. I will pay for internet. She has asked me to pay my $30 for internet. Then I have my own personal internet I use on my phone when I go out. I pay the internet and my international calls. I pay like $60. How much has gone? 1,000 is already out of the way. I pay car insurance, comprehensive car insurance for $162. Yeah. So you are seeing how it goes.
Don't talk about bills like electricity, water. That's around like 200 a month.
No, because we are dividing it now, so it's going to be
around 200 a month. After dividing it,
are you serious?
Yes, both internet, water, bills, gas, everything.
Okay,
it's around like 200 for one.
She's helping me to do the calculation very well. So let's say every month my internet, my water bill, my what BBB is $200, and my house rent is $800. 1,000 is gone. Yeah. Gone, right? I've seen that. And then feeding. To be honest with you, I've never sat down to calculate every $1 I spent on bread. On bread. A mad girl. So I used bread a lot, but I've changed you. For the past few months, have you seen bread without fridge? So I've not calculated my feeding. I've not done that because I don't want to be stingy to myself. This life now, once I want to eat and eat well. But I'm going to peg it as $300. $300 monthly.